And good morning, Man Hour Nation. Week 15 NFL season is coming upon us. So that means one thing only. It is time for some power rankings. We got some teams that lost that have not moved. We got some teams that won that have dropped. Spoiler alert, the Jacksonville Jaguars did make the top 10. Oh my God. Jason, XD Gamer, whoever you are, hope you enjoy these. But first, and now, Mike's thoughts. As we dive deeper into this holiday season, into the NFL Week 15, this is the time of year where we start getting Saturday games. This is the time of year where we start getting multiple Monday night games. This is the time of year where Thursday night games are no longer like almost a thing, right? I'm going to be so happy when they just officially say Thursday night games suck and let's get these out of town 100%. But with that being said, there are going to be a lot of games that are going to start to be flexed around, right? Because they want to be must-see TV. The playoff race is coming down, guys. The playoff race is going to be more exciting than we have first initially thought. Here are the last 2 weeks when the Eagles have lost and the Cowboys are winning, the Chiefs are losing, and Miami Dolphins are like losing. It is tightening this race and is making it very, very exciting. So I want you guys to really buckle up. I want you guys to buckle up and really watch the football games. Don't just root for your team. Don't just root for this team to lose or that team to win. Really sit down and watch the games. Watch the games because this playoff year, the first overall seed is not going to go to the Super Bowl. The second overall seed is not going to go to the Super Bowl. It would not surprise me one bit if we have 2 wild card 6 or 7 seeds in the Super Bowl. Sit back and really watch it and enjoy this time. But cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports.
Yeah.
Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour Show, the manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section, of course, check out the merchandise section as well. Get yourself some Man Hour merch, but most importantly, check out those blogs. We are putting out some blogs out there, and it is some good times over there on the good old blog section. Also, me and Hannah Bear have been working on the forums section. We've been writing some code, writing some SQL script. I've been doing a little bit of Java coding, which is not my forte, but it is what it is. But we gonna roll it out. We're gonna roll it out nice and slow. We gonna make it fun. We gonna make it live, raw, and uncut, just like we do here on the NFL best damn radio show on the planet. But we gotta welcome the man, the myth, the legend. The middle is open, Mr. John freaking Hoffman. What's up, Hoffy?
What's up, Michael Buckheister? What up, Man Hour Nation? Looking forward to tackling these power rankings with you and seeing where you got XD Gamers Jaguars after a 2-week losing streak. I thought for sure that they would be down in the dumpster fire, but curious to see where you got them and where you got my San Francisco 49ers.
Well, it has been a wild week of NFL, Hoffy, because like there are teams that I'm like, man, they have lost 2 games in a row. They have done a little bit of this and then done a little bit of that, but then the teams below them are losing. Then the teams above them are losing. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. But this has been some of the best parity that we've had in a very, very long time in this NFL, right? There are no really runaway teams, and this is what makes the power rankings so fun and so exciting right now. But this is week 15. We are, spoiler alert, we are recording this the night before because I got to do some house stuff. My son's birthday is Thursday, Hoffy. The little man turns 6. We're having a party on Friday, and the wife wants me to shampoo the carpets. Like, what? Come on. It's supposed to be a birthday party. Going to get all mud over the house anyways. Who who cares? But it is what it is. So
What's
are
the
you
big
ready?
gift?
What's that?
What's the big gift?
We have, so he is really into monster trucks right now, Monster Jam. So Cindy always has themes for the birthday party, right? So Tripp's birthday, when he turned 3, it ain't nothing but a 3 thing, right? You know, like a G thing, like some Snoop Dogg, but it ain't nothing but a 3 thing. And this year, for River's 6th birthday, we're having a monster truck. So we're having Monster Jam, and I am dressing up as Toro Loco and coming home from work early, and we're going to surprise him with like that. So the big gift is a 6-foot monster jam track. So like it hangs from like your ceiling, and like it slides down and does some backflips and it jumps. It's probably going to get used like twice and get thrown in like in the closet, to be totally honest, but it'll be cool for like a day. Isn't that how most birthday presents happen? Like, oh, it's cool for like a day, and then like it just leaves town, right? But
For the most part, yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
it is what it is.
what is Snoop Dogg's name?
I have no idea. Isn't like Herschel Walker?
No,
What is
it's
it?
Calvin.
Oh, that's right. It's Calvin Smith.
So my son being named Calvin, apparently, according to his uncles, his nickname will be Snoop.
There you go. Sneagle double G. But it ain't nothing but a G thing. But are you ready to buckle up for week 15? Man, 3 weeks of the NFL season left, man. Regular season. Week 15 is here. Let's buckle up, Hoffy, and go ahead and release those power rankings.
Tighten
Spoiler.
that chin strap and let's tackle it.
Well, coming in at number 10, this team is kind of surprised me the last few weeks. They went on a 2-game losing streak to the Broncos and to the Rams, and the quarterback goes down by the name of Deshaun Watson. DTR isn't an answer. PJ Walker isn't the answer. So they go to 36-year-old veteran Mr. Joe Flacco, and coming in at number 10 are the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns did beat the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday 31-27, but I did not have the Browns in the top 10 last week, so I bumped them up into the top 10. They're sitting at 8-5 right now, second in the AFC North, and they are poised, I think, Hoffy, to make a really deep, a really nice playoff run. The defense plays well at home. They need to tweak it a little bit on the road. They need to figure themselves out because they're probably going to be a wild card, so therefore they're going to go into Arrowhead. They're going to go into MetLife Stadium, or not M&T Bank Stadium for the Baltimore Ravens. They need to figure out their road defense, but right now the Cleveland Browns do come in at number 10. This is your live reaction. You have not seen these rankings before, so what do you think about the Cleveland Browns coming in at number 10?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. When the Browns lost Deshaun Watson, everyone was up in arms of what's going to happen next. But to be honest, Joe Flacco and his big arm has really helped Cleveland's air attack and given them a boost. In fact, he's in his 2 games as a starter, he has over 250 yards and 2 touchdown passes in those 2 games. Since Deshaun Watson was traded to the Browns last year, he only has 1 of those. So Joe Flacco has actually been an upgrade to what they were getting out of Deshaun Watson. If he can continue to do that, I mean, we know what Joe Flacco does in the playoffs. So this is a team that I don't think a lot of teams want to face come playoff time. So it's looking like they're going to get into the playoffs. If they get in, watch out for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and to be totally honest, right now there seems to be no easy out, no easy team that you want to play in the AFC playoffs whatsoever at all. But I do have the Cleveland Browns coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is a team that is on a 2-game losing streak. A team that has kind of shit their bed a little bit the last 3 weeks, kind of been like we don't really want to win the division, but if you're going to give it to us, we might take it anyways. And that is it. Coming in at number 9 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, they did just lose to the Cleveland Browns. Yes, they did just lose to the Cincinnati Bengals as well. But they are sitting at 8-5, and they do play the Ravens on Sunday Night Football coming up this week 15. So we're really going to see who the Jacksonville Jaguars really are. Can they beat an AFC North team? But right now, I do have them at number 9, still in the top 10 because of all the teams below them that I wanted to move up. They lost as well. But the Jacksonville Jaguars did move down a couple spots down into the number 9 spot. Still in the top 10, still above the Cleveland Browns. You can say that they're still up there maybe because Trevor Lawrence was a tad hobbled. Maybe if Trevor Lawrence was 100%, they would have won that game, possibly. I don't know. But right now, I do have the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at number 9, number 1 in the AFC South. Thoughts?
I mean, their two biggest issues this year has been their red zone efficiency as well as their third down conversions. Through the first month, their third down conversion was 29%. That was 29th in the league. Since then, they are at 40%, so they are slowly progressing there. That would rank them at 15th at this point in time. But they need to correct that red zone, their red zone deficiencies, I think. But I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 9 is acceptable. You might have been able. I wouldn't argue if you would switch them with the Browns, but I do think that right now they are still a top 10 team.
Yeah, and to be honest, hindsight, they probably are like a 1A, 1B with the Browns and Jags right now, sitting at that 9 and 10 spot. So you can probably flip them either way that you want. But currently coming in at number 9 are the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming in at number 8 is a team that has lost 2 of their last 3 games. A team that is steadily dropping down in the power rankings since Thanksgiving. This team, I have said that I think they're full. I think they're satisfied. And I think they're starting to overlook teams, and it's coming to bite them in the ass. And that is the Detroit Lions. They're coming off of a loss at Chicago to the Chicago Bears, 28-13. Moving forward, they do play the Broncos, Vikings, Cowboys, and Vikings again to end the season. They are currently sitting at 9-4 in the NFC North. And they need to win at least 1, if not 2 more games to definitely lock in that NFC North. Definitely a win over the Vikings would help them tremendously in locking in that division. But at number 8 are the Detroit Lions. Hoffy.
I mean, this is another team that has struggled with their red zone efficiency. I mean, the past 5 weeks they've been better. But like you said, they've lost 2 games in the past 3 weeks. Very well could have been another loss added into that season with their the game that they pulled out by the hair of their ass cheeks against the Bears in their first game against the Bears. But yeah, I mean this Lions team is not clicking on all cylinders right now the way they were at the beginning of the season. They started off hot coming in week 1, upsetting your Kansas City Chiefs and continuing to kind of stay hot, but this is a team that has struggled of late. They have kind of corrected that red zone efficiency or deficiency that they had going on. But still, you got to win games. And, these are games that they should have won. And they did not. And they looked pretty bad against this Chicago Bears team last week.
Yeah. And if you want to even take it back 7 weeks, right? The Detroit Lions downfall came when they traveled to Baltimore and got dismantled by the Ravens. Since then, their defense has been struggling, right? They've been giving up 38 points to the Chargers, 26 points to the Bears, 29 points to the Packers. These Saints, right? They jump out quick, 21-0 in the first quarter, and they had to muster a last-second drive to beat the Saints after being up 21-0, right? So the Lions definitely are not clicking on all cylinders right now, and is coming and rearing its very ugly head. So just to recap so far, guys, at number 10, we do have the Cleveland Browns. Number 9, we do have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming in at number 8, we have the Detroit Lions. And coming in at number 7, we do have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are still in the top 10 because I still think they are one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC. Yes, they are sitting at 8-5. Yes, they have lost 3 of their last 4. But looking forward, they do play the Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, and Chargers. All very, very winnable games and a chance for them to get right. Maybe this outburst by Patrick Mahomes is what the Kansas City Chiefs needed to physically or publicly call out the receivers in a roundabout way, saying like, hey, it was a penalty, but this, whatever. But nonetheless, the Kansas City Chiefs are sitting at number 7, atop of the AFC West right now, sitting at 8-5. Hoffy.
Yeah, I mean, they still have Patrick Mahomes. You have Travis Kelce. I think that the receivers are gonna, right the ship with their hands. But this team has I mean, they've always been there these past couple of years, and you can argue they have. I mean, I don't think you can even necessarily argue. I think it's 100%. They have the best defense that they've had in any of these Patrick Mahomes runs. So come playoff time, when the lights are on at their brightest, is when Mahomes does his best work, and he's got a defense to back him up. They're still still top. I believe they are top set. They're number 7 in offense. They're number 6 in defense. Defense is what wins championships. However, when you have Mahomes, that offense has been what's really won them Super Bowl. I mean, the defense has helped as well, but Mahomes has been the MVP in those in the last couple of years in their little dynasty run that they're on. And again, they have a pretty solid defense this year. So I do agree with you. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to right the ship, and they are going to be a team that is going to make noise in the playoffs and will be there in the end, whether it's the AFC Championship, Super Bowl. But I do believe that the Kansas City Chiefs will be just fine.
You know what is crazy to me is you just dropped that stat that they're still top 10 offense in the NFL when they're averaging 2.7 drops a game. They're like literally their receivers are dropping they have 33 drops so far this season that has probably added up to probably over 1,000 yards, right? And they're still top 10 offense. So wrap that around your head. So meaning the Kansas City Chiefs are a team, right? If they had, if they would have caught this ball, if they would have caught this ball, if they would have made this tackle, if they weren't offsides, they could very easily be 11-2 instead of 8-5. So do not count the Kansas City Chiefs out yet. I have to say I was getting ready to jump off that wagon after the Denver Broncos loss. We have lost 3 of the last 4. It is tough, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they're number 6 in passing, and like you said, that is with all the miscues that they've had. That's
crazy.
Without them scoring in the second half. I mean, all things that they have the talent to correct that. So
that's just hard to wrap my head around. But this next team coming in at number 6 is a team that we kind of had written off. A team that we're like, get that team out of here. But the last 3 weeks, this team has kind of put on an offensive showcase. This team said, let our defensive end go beat his pregnant wife. We don't care. Let the man play. And that is number coming in at number 6 are the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have won 2 of their last 3 with wins over the Jets and the Chiefs and a loss to the Eagles, which they could have very easily have won that game. One snap here, one snap there. It's a totally different ball game. But the Buffalo Bills are a team right now that we've been talking about all week long, how they might be one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC right now. This is a team you do not want to play in the playoffs. They have not sniffed the top 10 for a very, very long time. I slid them up in there to number 10 after the way they played the Eagles, and now they're sliding up to number 6. Above my Kansas City Chiefs, above the Lions, above the Jaguars, above the Cleveland Browns. The Buffalo Bills are a very, very good team right now. They are clicking and looking very, very good. Number 6, Buffalo Bills. Hoffy.
Yeah, just staying with the number 6 since week 6. Dalton Kincaid, their rookie tight end, which when I saw they moved up in the draft this year, I knew that's where they were going, and I was not looking forward to seeing him in a Buffalo Bills uniform. He was someone that I would have liked the Patriots to find a way to get, but Dalton Kincaid has had 6 targets since week 6 and has become a very reliable target for quarterback Josh Allen. And now you have Dawson Knox coming back from the injured reserve. You're going to be able to have that two-headed tight end monster. You're going to have Stephon Diggs. It's going to be tough to lock those three guys up. So I think that this team is getting healthy at the right point. They're playing their best ball. You can argue the best ball of their season right now. And we said at the beginning of the year it was going to come down probably to week 17, them versus the Dolphins. In the middle of the year, we said, it looks like the Dolphins are going to run away with this. But I think that, the Dolphins left that door wide open yesterday by losing that game. So yes, I think the Bills are a solid team, and I'm still going to stick with my guns here and say that the Buffalo Bills will be the AFC East champions at the end of this 2023 season.
Yeah, it is crazy to wrap your head around that after firing their offensive coordinator, 4 weeks ago, pretty much had them out for like dead. And this was a team like, get that team out of out of town. But Von Miller is starting to look a little bit like old Von Miller. The defense is starting to come around, looking like a very, very good team. But to recap our bottom five here before we break into the top five, coming in at number 10, we do have the Cleveland Browns, second in the AFC North. Coming in at number 9, the leaders of the AFC South are the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming in at number 8, the NFC North leaders right now, the Detroit Lions. Coming in at number 7, West leading Kansas City Chiefs. Coming in at number 6, second place Buffalo Bills. And coming in at number 5 are the Miami Dolphins. Yes, they did lose to the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football 28-27. Yes, they did lose their center for the season. Yes, Tyreek Hill does have a sprained ankle and might be limited in practice this week. But the Miami Dolphins are still a very, very good team. They have to learn how to play with the new center. Spoiler alert, once that center, Connor Williams, did go out, Tua got sacked 5 times. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. We will see how it plays out when they do play the Jets next Saturday afternoon. But coming in at number 5 are the 9-4 Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I think the key to this team's success is going to be in Tyreek Hill, and we saw that yesterday. I mean, the change that was when he was not in that lineup, and then even when he was injured and came back, he still made some plays, and they started to click. And then all of a sudden, you see that he's not on the field, and they start to struggle again. The defense was their weakness. Since week 8, however, they are 4th in defensive points. They're 2nd in rushing yards allowed, which was a big weakness of theirs, and they're 1st in yards allowed per game. And that was heading into Monday night. Jalen Ramsey, coming back from injury, has been a huge contribution to that team. The team is kind of starting to buy into the Vic Fangio system, and they're starting to kind of figure it out. So hopefully this defense can continue to progress as they have. And if Tyreek can stay healthy, this is a dangerous team.
Yeah, that ankle injury is definitely very, very hobbling to Tyreek Hill, since a lot of his game is speed and quickness. But the one thing that I want to add about the Miami Dolphins defense is Jalen Ramsey, right? He is bringing a certain type of swagger to that defense, right? You saw him up in D-Hop's face all night long. You saw Howard start to do the same thing. That linebacker that is always hitting people late, the white dude with the long hair, number like 41, I think they think it is. He is starting to get a little swag in him. And oh, by the way, Bradley Chubb, that they traded for the last midseason, is starting to kind of look like the old Bradley Chubb of like old. So look out for the Miami Dolphins moving forward. But coming in at number 4 is a team that is kind of on a slide right now. They have lost 2 games in a row as well, but they've lost to very, very good teams. This team was beat down by the San Francisco 49ers 2 weeks ago. This team was beat down by the Dallas Cowboys last Sunday night, and they do play at Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Again, this is a team that'll have 7 primetime games in a row, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles right now, guys, are sitting at 10-3. They look like a very, very tired team. They look like a team that just needs a break. Well, it's going to have to wait until you play the Giants and the Cardinals and the Giants moving forward. But right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are a number 4 ranked team in my power rankings. Hoffy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think we both kind of been saying it all year. They've been a product of the schedule that they've played. They've beaten some bad teams, and they've barely beaten those bad teams. They're ranked 22nd in defense, 26th in passing. Their run defense is pretty stout. They're 6th there, but their defense is suspect. And teams like the past 2 weeks, they've been exploited by teams like Dallas and the 49ers. So if you have a passing game, you can, easily attack their weaknesses. And that's going to be something that's really, I think, going to hold this team back, especially in the playoffs this year. I don't think that the Eagles have the defense to compete with teams like the Cowboys and the 49ers, unless you can, we saw it with the Bills as well. It has to be a shootout against those 3 teams because they're not able to hold up with them. Same thing when you're going to see the Chiefs. It's going to be, much similar. It's probably, I know that it was a low scoring game. The Chiefs didn't score any points in that second half, but that's not going to happen again. So they got to figure out this defense. Otherwise, this team is not going to make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah, and just to add to your point of that defense, they have 5 brand new starters on that defensive side of the ball. That's 40% brand new players from last season, plus a new defense of a coordinator, right? So things are, maybe they're just taking time to gel. Maybe they might pull a Kansas City Chiefs and get right week 15 and make a nice little push on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, the blueprint has been laid of how to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But right now they're still at 4 because they are 10-3. They have won a lot of good games, and I still think they can still beat a lot of teams in the NFL. But just to
luckily for them, they have their remaining schedule is pretty soft. So these are some games that they can kind of build that swag back up, get that momentum, kind of right the ship, and we'll see, like you said, if that carries into the playoffs.
Yeah, and they just right now they're averaging 84 snaps on the defense for the last 4 games. So they're just tired. They need a break, right? Playing a lot of football is not good for the Philadelphia Eagles. But just to recap, before we break into the top 3, number 10, we do have the Cleveland Browns. Number 9, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming at number 8, the Detroit Lions. Number 7, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6, we have the Buffalo Bills. Coming in at number 5, the Miami Dolphins. Coming in at number 4, we do have the Philadelphia Eagles. And coming in at number 3, we have a team that is also 10-3 on the season. We have a team that has won 3 of their last 4. We have a team that we thought might be one of the best teams in the NFL. But I actually have them dropping in this week's power rankings because of the performance that they did against the LA Rams, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens did beat the Rams 37-31 in overtime on Sunday, but I dropped them from number 2 to number 3 because I do not like what they did in this game. I did not like that they gave up 31 points to the LA Rams. I did not like that they were consistently playing behind in that whole game. Yes, Lamar Jackson did have a good stat line, but he missed a lot of easy throws. His receivers made a lot of spectacular catches. And just the Baltimore Ravens looked a little bit more vulnerable than they did before their bye week. So I do have them dropping down to number 3 this week in my Week 15 power rankings. Huffy.
Yeah, I mean, this is about the time when Lamar Jackson, not wishing injury, either gets hurt or starts to as you always say, his butthole starts to pucker. These past 8 games, they've committed 7 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 3 fumbles lost. They've gone 7-1 in those games. The ball security is going to be important for this Ravens offense. So if they can continue to limit to 1 turnover or less a game, they're going to be all right with that defense. But if Lamar Jackson is going to turn the ball over as he has around this time of year after year, that's when, you got to watch out. But right now they're tied for 5th in the fewest turnovers in the league. I think turnovers is going to be key because their defense likes to, can cause turnovers. And if their offense can put those turnovers and turn those into points, then this Baltimore Ravens team is going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think that is ultimately what will win the Baltimore Ravens any playoff games, if they do win playoff games, is their defense. Is if their defense hold teams at under 14, 13 points, Lamar Jackson doesn't have to play out of his mind, right? Like he did against the Rams to basically carry them. When Lamar Jackson knows that the defense is locked in, he makes some smart decisions. His throws are just a little bit more crisp, right? But when he starts to play from behind, he starts to panic a little bit and starts to force the ball, it seems like. But break it into the top two, Hoffy. I want to see your face as I tell you these top two teams. Number 2 is a team that has won 5 games in a row. Number 2 is a team that has win 10-3 this season. Number 2 is a team that has been number 1 in the NFL power rankings from your boy Buck Nasty. This team was number 1 last week. I dropped them down to number 2, and that's the San Francisco 49ers, Hoffy. I dropped them down. What the fuck? Exactly. I dropped them down because they had to battle against a backup quarterback in Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks. Without those big plays for Brock Purdy, he did throw like 400 yards, but without those big plays from Brandon Ayuk and Debo and CMC, the 49ers would have lost that game. So I do drop them down from number 1 to number 2 this week, and we'll see exactly how good they are when they do welcome the Baltimore Ravens into town Christmas Day in 2 weeks. But number 2 are the San Francisco 49ers. Hoffy, you do not look happy.
I know you're not joking because you probably would have told me prior to us talking on, before we went live, that this was going to be a clickbait show. But good freaking Lord, you're not joking here.
No, this is not clickbait at all, man.
My God.
When you have to battle against Drew Lock and a Seattle Seahawks team that's probably going to miss the playoffs, I thought the Seahawks were going to do well this season. I thought the Seahawks were going to win the West, but right now the Seahawks seem to be a pretty easy out. And you struggle with them at home? At home, yes. I do know you just played them a few weeks ago, but still. Come on.
They beat the brakes off they probably beat the Eagles more convincingly than the team that you're going to have in front of them beating them. I mean, since they've got Chase Young before the trade deadline, they've got 22 sacks. I mean, they're getting after the quarterback at a 35%, which is first in the NFL. I mean, over the past 5 games, the defense has been unbelievable. So this defense, I think, is better than the Dallas Cowboys defense, and they have better weapons on the offensive side of the ball than Dallas has. So, and they head-to-head, they beat the shit out of Dallas. So how are you going to put Dallas in front of 49ers?
So, spoiler alert, I do have Dallas Cowboys at number 1. And the reason
why it wasn't the Patriots.
And the reason I have the Dallas Cowboys above the San Francisco 49ers is because the Dallas Cowboys have played injured, right? When they played the Cardinals, they were injured. When they played the Patriots, they were injured. When they played the 49ers, they were injured. And they were still able to battle within those games. Yes, they did get beat down the San Francisco 49ers week 5. Shit happens, right? But the Dallas Cowboys have not lost 3 games in a row. The 49ers have. The 49ers, when they were injured, they were a bad team, right? If the Dallas Cowboys were to lose their left tackle, they have this season, they still win. When the Dallas Cowboys, lose a running back, they still win, right? The 49ers lose their left tackle, and Trent Williams lose 3 games in a row. CMC gets hurt, loses a game. Debo Samuel misses a game. They lose that game. So literally, the San Francisco 49ers are 1 injury away from being a bad football team. The Dallas Cowboys have more depth, they have more talent, and they have a lot more hungry factor about them. That's why the Dallas Cowboys are the number 1 team in the NFL.
Good Lord. I mean, through the first 5 weeks, they only scored on 7 of 19 red zone possessions. They've gotten a lot better since then, scoring on 25 of 38, red zone attempts. Dak has been playing unbelievable. I mean, I think we talked about the stats the other day.
MVP, baby.
Yes, right now he is the front runner for MVP. I mean, his first 6 games, he was averaging 222 yards a game. He had 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions with a 91 QBR. Since then, he has averaged 310 yards, 22 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's not turning the ball over. I mean, I think he might have the least amount of interceptions of all, quarterbacks that probably have more than 4 or 5 games under their belt. Over that 7-game span where he's got 22 touchdowns, that's the most ever by a Dallas quarterback in their history. They've had some pretty good quarterbacks, as we all know, but they're not going to beat. If you put them head to head again against the 49ers, they are not going to beat them.
See, and I disagree. I think the way the Dallas Cowboys are playing right now, if they were to play week 15, the Dallas Cowboys would come on top 27-24. It would be a very, very close game. It'll be a fourth quarter, last second Aubrey 50-yard field goal. But guess what? The Dallas Cowboys field goal kicker doesn't miss field goals. Mr. Third round Jake Mooney does, right?
All right. He doesn't miss field goals in a dome, but come playoff time when they face off again, it's going to be in San Francisco. There is no way that it will not be in San Francisco. I don't see the 49ers fumbling away either the number 1 seed. I don't even think the Cowboys are going to be the the NFC East champions, which means they're going to be going on the road. Okay. And in San Francisco, in the months of January, February, it is rainy, it is foggy, it is nasty. It is not going to be, sunshine and rainbows in AT&T Stadium, and he's not going to be able to be kicking 60-yard field goals like it's nothing. So I don't think that this Dallas offense can carry over to, into San Francisco where it's going to be foggy, rainy, and nasty, whereas the 49ers, they live in it. They practice in it. They play in it. I think that the 49, if we were going to AT&T Stadium, I could understand your argument, but I don't think that this Dallas Cowboys offense or defense is going to carry over and contribute to a win against the 49ers in Santa Clara.
So I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I understand it's rainy and earthquakes happen in California and fog and all this other stuff. But the simple fact of the matter is, I don't care if the San Francisco 49ers are the number 1 overall seed. The Dallas Cowboys will not be traveling to San Francisco. The San Francisco 49ers are going to lose in the first round to the Detroit Lions.
Jesus.
They might get their first round by the wild card. Yes, I get that. And then it's a divisional round. They're going to have to play the Eagles or the Detroit Lions. They're not going to beat either of those teams. They're not. The Dallas Cowboys will be the number 2 overall seed, and the NFC Championship game will be at AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, just where all the Texas State Championship games are held, and they're going to hoist that NFC Championship trophy above their head, and Dak Prescott's going to be carried off on their shoulders because he's going to throw for like 600 yards like in that game. It's just going to be magic when they beat down the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. But Cowboys are the number 1 team in the NFL. Is that shit coming out of your mouth, Hoffy?
No, that's shit coming out of your mouth.
Shit coming out of my mouth. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this week's NFL Week 15 Power Ranking. Just to recap before we head out. Number 10, we do have the Cleveland Browns. Number 9, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 8, the Detroit Lions. Number 7, Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs this year. Yes, back-to-back. The first time since the New England Patriots did it, 2001 or whatever it was. Number 6, Buffalo Bills. Number 5, the Miami Dolphins. Number 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Coming in at number 3 are the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers. And the best team in the NFL right now going into Week 15 are the Dallas Cowboys. Put some respect on their name. Hoffy, send us out.
I'm putting some respect on their name, but I ain't putting them at number 1. Man Hour Nation, I am incredibly sorry for this guy's incompetency when it comes to power rankings. But until next time, Man Hour Nation, rise up.